Were you stuck in a loveless marriage with a husband who only had time for watching baseball and eating whatever you'd cooked up for him in front of the TV? Did you sit down with a forward old lady in a nursing home who told you a breezy but compelling tale of women doing their thing in the Depression-era Deep South? Did you use said stories as inspiration to smash up a Volkswagen Beetle convertible in the Winn-Dixie parking lot, demolishing a wall that hopefully wasn't load-bearing adjacent to your entryway? Did said story of women doing their thing end up having that thing be living in coded lesbian relationships, covering up the murder of a guy who was definitely asking for it, and serving up said guy to the hungry racist customers at the Whistle Stop Cafe? If so, you may have just happened into the Unkind Rewind, where we saw the 1991 pro-cannibalism lesbian love story, Fried Green Tomatoes.
Jesus Christ.
Thrill me.
I'm gonna name you Coda. You get a name too, Podo.
His name is Happy Harry Hardon. He's a total sex maniac.
Of course.
Greetings from a lofty perch above the Mississippi, where I, Josh Dugan, have found myself wondering just how often I've eaten human meat without knowing. Coming to us from Hell's Kitchen, where he's been searching high and low for a cafe that will serve up the titular southern delicacy of this week's film, Sean McGrath. Have you been working on your iffy southern accent in preparation for this week's episode, Sean?
Yeah, it goes in and out.
Okay.
In keeping with the film. And I've had a hot dog from a cart, so check that box
Mm-hmm.
in terms of eating probable human meat.
Sure, yeah.
Yeah. So, and I also, like when you meant during your intro, I was like, I wonder how high his voice is going to get on lesbian love story.
Zooming in with us this week is our special guest, fresh from stirring the pot on the stove, Gabe Joyner.
Hi.
Thanks for gracing us with your presence, Gabe.
You're very welcome.
Now, Gabe, why don't you tell the listener whose foot got stuck in the train tracks last week and missed your Q's and T's installment a little bit about yourself?
My name is Gabe. I have a podcast with my best friend and life partner. What was that? Lesbian?
Question mark? Question, quasi?
Yeah.
Called SVU Pod, Especially Heinous. We go through Law and Order SVU episodes consecutively. We have like 20 more years to go. And then we do a true crime chaser.
And they keep tacking them on.
Yeah, right?
Your podcast may never end.
I'm like, fucking quit. I'll die way before.
Yeah, before SVU does.
Yeah. And I'm a tattooer in Madison, Wisconsin at Wayward Tattoo.
Right on.
That's it.
What season are y'all in?
Season 7.
Okay, I thought it was 7 or 8. I was pretty sure is where you were. SVU's still mostly good at this point.
Yep.
When does it change?
It's like 10 or 11. Whenever Stabes leaves, right?
13 is the first season without Stabler, yeah.
Okay.
And with the new showrunner, which is the writer's room changes over in season 13 also.
Mm.
Yep.
Jeremy's head writer in this one.
Jeremy is definitely head writer in season 19 and 20, which are easily the two worst, but...
Jeremy Wolf.
Yeah. We talked about Jeremy last week. If you want to get it, listen to last week's episode, or listen to SVU Pod, Especially Heinous.
Yeah.
Now, before we get too far into the episodes, where can listeners find you on the internet? Obviously, your podcast, but what are your socials?
Anywhere underneath a fucking airplane, apparently. All of our socials are at SVU Pod.
Okay.
So, and we have a website, www.svupodespeciallyheinous.com. I'm not going to tell you how to spell that shit.
Wow.
So
Nice.
Yeah, well.
That was available?
Yeah, we lucked out.
It is
Nice.
possible that SVU Pod wasn't, that the domain
Yeah,
might have been taken.
I imagine. Yeah.
And your personal socials with like your tattoo art you're on Instagram, right?
Oh, just clever shit. It's at Gabe Joyner. Joyner.
Cool. Now, as mentioned last week, I saw Fried Green Tomatoes shortly after it came out and definitely had recorded it off of television.
Mm.
That being said, I hadn't seen it in at least 30 years and remembered virtually nothing about this movie.
Really?
Yeah, I was pretty sure. I know I liked it growing up. I had actually jumbled most of this into my recollection of Steel Magnolias, which tells me that my 12-year-old brain was probably sexist.
Is that the one with like Dolly Parton and stuff and Susan Sarandon? Not Susan Sarandon, but
Daryl Hannah and are Julia Roberts in it too?
Yeah,
Julia Roberts. Oh yeah. And Sally Field is the matriarch.
Nice.
I don't think I actually ever saw that, but I know it. They're like hairdressers or something.
And I want to say like a Dylan McDermott maybe.
Or a Dermot Mulroney.
Oh yeah, I think it was
Dylan McDermott Mulroney is in it probably.
Yeah, one of them, but not two. They can't share the same space at the same time.
No. Sean, what was your personal history with Fried Green Tomatoes?
Yeah, it's definitely been about as long for me as for Josh. I think I had to have seen this movie in the theater like everybody else. And this is a movie that seems like you got in the mail on VHS.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like everybody had a copy of Fried Green Tomatoes. I know that this is like physical media is dying, but like it feels like a movie that you would get in like a rental property, like a B&B. Like there would just be those collection of movies that somebody's assembled over years. Yeah, Fried Green Tomatoes is part of it. Like Cocoon, like we talked about on this podcast. Everybody got Fried Green Tomatoes and Cocoon in the mail.
And Forrest Gump too.
Yeah.
Forrest Gump. Yeah.
And Dances with Wolves.
Yep.
Yeah.
The 2-tape set.
Yep.
God, I bet you that movie does not hold up.
Oh, I'm sure it does not.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't even want to think about that.
Like the movie, that'll be a 2-parter as well.
Yeah.
Oh God.
It feels like there was like a little stretch of a few months where you could like save up points at McDonald's and redeem those points for movies. And it feels like Fried Green Tomatoes was one of the movies you could get via like stored up points at McDonald's.
This movie was everywhere. But yeah, it's been a long time for me. You know, I think I remembered more about it than Josh.
I mean, I was shocked at how little I remembered. Like none of this movie. And I'm certain I've seen it.
But there were those moments too where like when the Klan showed up, I was like, oh yeah, it's a Klan movie.
Mm-hmm.
So I did have that thing. I mean, there's you know, the Winn-Dixie parking lot, the Saran wrap, of course, the barbecue stuff, of course, and then the buddy getting your old foot stuck in the train tracks.
Right.
Like that does not leave you. I don't care who you are.
Mm-hmm.
Like I had the recollection of the guy being cooked up and fed to people, but that was about it.
Wow.
Yeah. Gabe, how long do you think it had been since you last saw this?
15, 20 years maybe?
Okay.
Something like that. I did remember a lot, though.
Okay. Yeah. I mean, you definitely, like, going back through your recap, you had recalled it pretty well. I mean, there are some things where it's like, you know, a little detail here or there is a little different, but, like, not just so discernibly that, like, oh, Gabe doesn't remember this movie at all. Like,
yeah, what a bitch. Kick her up. Yeah.
No, honestly, I would prefer that you remembered less. I thought you would remember less than you did. I was shocked at how much you remembered.
I think I might have watched it like a lot growing up, like a couple times.
Right.
Just because I'm like, I did remember so much. Or it just stuck with me super hard. I don't know.
Yeah. So jumping into following up on your pre-interview, we asked you what you remember the plot of the film being, and you recalled it as follows.
Oh my God, I've watched it so many times. So it's like Kathy Bates, right? She's kind of in this like interesting spot in her life where she's like sort of unhappy-ish. She's got this like weird husband. He's not weird, he's nice. But she starts doing things to like make herself feel better, and she like goes to this retirement home, I think to see her husband's mom, who's a total cunt, and like kicks her out of the room all the time. And she like comes across this like old lady, and this old lady starts telling her stories about her life, and then she ends up coming back and like getting involved with this lady and hearing these stories, and it goes back to like the lady, like it
flashes back.
Yeah. And I just remember Kathy Bates. There's a scene where she was like trying to dress sexy for her husband.
I know what you're gonna say.
With a saran wrap. She makes a saran wrap dress, but it's like a 80s look, like a big bow. And like he's like, "What are you doing?" And she goes to some girl group and she looks at her vagina in a hand mirror. I remember that.
Oh, did not remember that.
Oh yeah, I remember Tawanda. Fucking Tawanda.
I remember the name. I have no frame of reference for what that is anymore.
I think the older lady like used that. She called that her like, I think it was her like alter ego, like Tawanda.
Okay.
And I remember Kathy Bates was at a grocery store and was gonna park, and then these like hot girls in a convertible take the spot, and she's like, "Excuse me," and they're like, "Face it, we're hotter and younger," or whatever. And then she fucking yells Tawanda and like crashes their car or something like that a bunch. These are just like little things that I kind of remember. I kind of remember a lot, I think. Yeah, I remembered a lot.
Yeah, and there's more that I didn't clip out, but I'll get into that. And
then she's like, "Face it, I'm older and have better insurance." Or whatever. It's like, get it, girl.
But see, that's Gabe. You just made it a better line. She says, "I have more insurance" in the movie.
mm-hmm.
Your line's better.
Yeah.
And that's how I remembered it too. Like I Mandela affected that she's like, "I'm older and I have better insurance," but she's for some reason says, "I have more insurance."
Yeah.
Which is just kind of like okay, moving on.
It's like, oh, somebody doesn't know how insurance works. Okay.
Well, she has a special more insurance that allows you to just like smash other people's cars.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think like let's talk about that. Because like it's such a hardcore aggressive move. Like I think if you're I don't know, like just ramming a Volkswagen Beetle, like...
Well, because she also moved that car into the car in front.
Right.
And nobody went to jail.
Yeah.
Okay. Right. And she went from like 0 to 100 when normally you at least start off with honking or flipping somebody off.
Sure.
Right.
And then make a hardcore decision to do that.
You know, not to like rewrite history, but like something a little bit more clever in order to kind of give those girls their comeuppance, you know, may have been a smarter move script wise. And again, like it looks like she is going to face repercussions to this because her husband's yelling at her later. The husband basically was just assigned the role of coming in and saying, "Evelyn, what the hell are you doing?"
Yeah.
I feel like they kind of shot him all in one day.
Yeah, sure.
They're just like, all right.
He was wearing the same outfit.
All right, chef from Ernest Goes to Camp. Here's what you're going to do. You're going to come in. You're either going to get a plate of food and go watch TV, or you're going to come in and say, "Evelyn, what the hell are you doing? All right, moving on. What's the next one?" And then they just did a dozen of these.
Yeah.
Paid him a day rate.
You're going to be either in a suit or a softball fucking outfit
I'm
or
like,
whatever.
He's not playing fucking
He's not
baseball or softball.
No. Yeah.
No.
He's if
he's
he
watching
might
baseball.
Be the catcher. Yeah. He's cosplaying. He went to a party.
Sure.
He could cosplay, absolutely. But yeah, like that's one of the many touches in this movie of like women kind of like owning the moment and like asserting themselves. Maybe it's better if it was men in that car showing up, like the teenage dirtbag that she gets kind of confronted with early on.
Oh, that's right.
Because like mostly this movie is about like how terrible men are. White men, specifically.
Yeah, black dudes are cool in this.
Yeah. Also, when Josh mentioned the thing about Steel Magnolias, I had completely like swapped benevolent but simple-minded black men from The Hand That Rocks the Cradle. Because Ernie Hudson in that movie plays like a mentally challenged, very slow, like hard R, I think they say in that movie, character. And in my mind, Ernie Hudson was in this as well.
Okay, sure.
Like playing that character. But I don't know the actor playing Big George.
It's Stan Shaw, isn't it?
How would I know Stan Shaw? How would audiences know Stan Shaw? Because he's definitely a working... This movie was like a cavalcade of like character actors.
He's in Rocky. He's in Boys and Company C, Great Santini, Monster Squad, Rising Sun, Cutthroat Island, Snake Eyes.
You know, a lot of stuff.
He's in Rocky? Like Rocky 1?
Yeah, he's Dipper in Rocky 1.
Is that a training partner?
I assume so. Or
I think
maybe
it's a
someone who
trained
fights
party.
early on or something.
No, he fights Spider Rico, so like it's not Spider Rico. But
Doesn't he have other fights before Apollo Creed?
I don't think he
Okay.
does. Yeah, I think he just fights Spider Rico at the church. Anyway, I kind of remembered that moment pretty clearly, the Winn-Dixie parking lot smashing, and I was just kind of like, I guess, like, you showed them, but, like, somebody got your license plate, apparently, and, like, it would have been a lot easier for you to get away with it scot-free.
Yeah.
To have a scene, to be able to write in later, like, you know, they're pressing charges or whatever he said. I was like, now you kind of take some of the sting out of it.
Now, you had some pretty good recall
Really good recall.
Mm-hmm.
for something you hadn't seen in quite a while. Do you feel like your immediate reassessment on Kathy Bates' husband granting him the label of being nice after initially calling him weird was accurate? Or would you like to amend your statement for the audience at home and declare him something else?
I think they kind of just wrote him like a classic dude. You know, they've been doing his things a certain way.
Yeah.
You know, honestly, this movie was really, because I think I'm in that exact same spot, like age-wise now. You know what I mean?
Well, like they just had their they're empty nesters now, right?
But I mean, like, I don't have any kids or anything,
Sure.
but I'm saying, like...
Yeah, no, I'm just trying to,
at
like,
that age.
figure out what their
Yeah.
age is based on them
Yeah.
being empty nesters. I would guess they're
So
probably 50-ish, but I don't know.
No. I think they're younger than that. And
Okay.
Bates
Yeah.
is rocking. Bates is 42, 40, 41, 42 when she's doing this movie.
Yeah.
Okay.
Pretty sure she's born in 48.
Yeah, she is. June
So-
28th, 1948.
Because she's like, you're going through the change. You know, and just like her body's in a weird spot. She's like when she says, I'm too old to be young, but too young to be old. That's kind of, I think I'm in that like little window.
Sure.
Getting into that window, you know.
That's a great line.
Yeah. But that has nothing to do with her husband. So yeah, I wouldn't say he was nice. I just think he was just classic. And I mean, she was doing so much fucking work for their relationship. All the different things she was trying for herself,
Yeah.
for her relationship. You know, like the saran wrap thing. She was doing all these things. You know, and he was just no. She's like, oh, the books I'm reading, nothing's working. I'm like, he's not doing shit. You know, and I think later on he finally gets it, but just a classic fucking like typecast dude. Like, why change? Things have always been this way, and they should stay that way. You know what I mean?
Right.
I can't
Was
do
the
accents.
saran wrap thing did that definitely happen? Or was that like...
It's a daydream sequence.
okay, yeah. Because
No,
I
it
misremembered
happened.
that. I thought it had happened, but like...
It did. That wasn't a daydream.
No, it's a daydream.
No, I swear to God, it happened.
She asks him, what would you have done if
What would
you
you
came
done?
home to me in a cellophane dress or whatever?
Oh.
I would have had you committed or something like
Yeah.
that. He kind of chuckles and
Yeah.
disregards it. Like, this guy does not want to fuck, right? At all costs.
He's just comfortable.
You know, and I think Gabe's right. Like, it's a super kind of cliche, like just kind of nothing, sports and fried chicken and Southern and what the hell you doing and no changes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's so glossed over, the empty nesting, though, that she's a mother.
Yeah. Because we never see her parent at all.
I think he's mentioned one time.
Yes.
Do you know his name?
No.
Kyle.
Okay.
It's
Kyle.
out of nowhere. And really the only time where I was like, wait, what? Was when she's suddenly a fucking handyman. And yeah, it did look like a load-bearing wall, Josh.
That got me. I was like, that is the time that you ask somebody first. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Okay.
There's a twin bed. There's like definitely teenage boy posters up. I couldn't really identify quite what they were. And then like very Southern thing, the mantle of beer cans, which I
Oh,
guess
Yeah.
I guess your teenage son was cool having. Maybe in that time it was 18 and not 21. But
Yeah, because this is happening in
it's-
the 80s, right?
it's just so weird that we don't have her talk about being a mother
Yeah.
to Iggy at all. It's never brought up. And granted, like, you're going to get these things that are part of the novel that they just can't fit in
Sure.
a 2-hour movie or whatever it is.
Well, we can assume that she's a stay-at-home mom too, because you don't see her go to work once or anything. Like,
Right.
Yeah, I mean, she starts doing Mary Kay later,
yeah,
which is very much like a side
yeah.
gig
'Cause
that a
she's like,
housewife
I'm
can
making my
have.
own money now.
Yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
yeah.
Now, I do want to just because I'm guessing people noticed also, there's no way that she framed that wall that she was replacing to code, because those are not 2x4s.
I didn't
No,
notice.
like when
Those boards are like 2x2s. I don't even know how you would get those boards, but they're not a construction grade like 2x4.
yeah,
That wall would not support anything.
when Zero Libido husband shows back up and is like, "What's going on?" And Gabe, you're right. Like, that's a conversation you need to fucking have
yeah.
before you start.
Like, it might not necessarily be your husband, because I know, like, Tasha, her husband, she does all the construction stuff, so when there's workers come to her house, they're like, "Where's the husband?" And she's like, "This is me. I'm the husband."
It's like the Nate Bargatze bit where the construction guys come to his house all the time and they ask him questions and he's like, "No, I'm useless. I don't know anything. It's my wife.
Oh,
Could talk to her."
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's definitely, yeah. But yeah, so you gotta ask somebody.
But we have that scene where, like, she's done it. She's, like, rebuilt the wall.
Yeah.
She's put the wall back up. I'm like, you can't just hand Kathy Bates a hammer and be like, okay, action.
She's gonna go
Like,
for
she
your
has-
feet.
She has no idea what she was doing, and no one gave her direction with that sledgehammer. Like, she probably should not have been even swinging that thing.
I hope that was on a set, not in an actual house.
Yeah.
Otherwise, they really fucked up someone's house. Now, you went on to talk about Edgy being good at getting honey. Would it surprise you to find out that that was actually Mary Stuart Masterson doing that stunt, because a stunt person wouldn't?
No.
Because it was.
In
That was
the-
absolutely MSM doing that.
That's awesome.
I thought it was maybe a hand double because that looked fucking scary. But, like, when she was walking away
Those are real bees on
Like-
her.
with a bee blanket
Uh-huh.
over her, I was like, okay, this is, like, pre-Jurassic Park. And, like, bees today with the highest quality CGI couldn't look that good.
No.
There was no way that was a fake. And I was like, God damn.
I thought you were gonna be like, bees nowadays are way more violent. That's what I thought you were gonna. These bees today, they really. I'm convinced that I can do that. I'm convinced, because weirdly, I watch a lot of, like, bee charming. This lady that just gently talks while she's, like, scooping bees into her fucking bra or whatever the fuck she's doing, and she's, like, moving them. And I've watched so much that I'm like, oh, I can do that now. That's a thing that I can do. I'm sure of it. So it doesn't surprise me one bit, because I too am just a bee charmer.
Will you come back to and tell us how it went?
I will not be alive. I can guarantee it.
Were you inspired to watch that stuff because of your relationship to this movie?
Ooh, I don't know. I'm also, like, really afraid of bees, so I probably just
Sure.
am trying to, like, get my.
This sounds
It's gonna work
convinced
out,
that
Sean,
you can do it.
okay?
Plus
Terrifying.
Cognitive
Terrified of
behavioral
bees.
therapy.
equal great episode of a podcast.
I just need, like, one of you to pick up my glasses and go to my funeral and be like, she can't see without her glasses.
Do you, I was going to ask, do you think that
Oh my
your
God.
fear of bees is related to My Girl, which came out like 6 months before this?
Probably. And because I got stung a bunch as a kid. I lived in, like, a fucking hornet's nest.
The movie Avalon also came out really close to this.
1990, yeah.
So, like, there was a lot of, like, bee-centric bee work going on. Yeah,
What's
somebody
Avalon?
got paid really well. Yeah, Avalon is a coming-of-age
In Brooklyn,
immigrant story. I think it's Baltimore because it's
Barry
a young,
Levinson.
very young Elijah Wood, Barry Levinson. So, yeah, Baltimore.
Yeah.
It was probably, like, 3,000 hornets dressed up like a fucking movie executive.
Mhm.
Yeah. There were- I mean,
3
like,
years.
the bee lobby was huge.
It was
back
huge,
then.
yeah.
But Gabe, you'd appreciate this. There's young Elijah Wood standing still, yelling at his friends, "You're not supposed to run," as he's, like, mercifully stung by bees.
You are supposed to run, right?
I'd fucking run.
This isn't a bear.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's
Or,
doing
like-
that thing of, like, you're not supposed to run, like, holding still as bees just fuck him up.
He confused bees and bears. They're next to each
Yeah.
other in the alphabet. It makes sense. He just was, he had like jumbled it. It was probably like a page break or something. And yeah.
So he dies, right?
No, he
Oh.
he pulls through.
Okay. I gotta watch this movie.
Now, you thought that the train had cut off Ruth's son's leg, but it was actually his arm. Do you think you conflated those because Chris O'Donnell got his foot stuck and died?
Yeah, I couldn't remember which one was which. My heart.
Can we talk about Buddy here for a second?
Yeah.
Buddy 1 or Buddy 2?
Let's talk about Buddy 1.
Okay.
I'm just going to say that if you get your foot stuck in the rails of a train track, do not spend half the time turning back and waving.
It's cool.
Yeah.
It's cool.
It's cool. Yeah.
Yeah.
Maybe focus on those laces, like the 100 lace boot that you're wearing.
Yeah.
I also, okay, so here's what's really weird. I had in my mind, like I would have bet $1,000 and lost it, that we had an image of him leaping in front of the train, like to get away, and it cuts, right?
Mm-hmm.
In the version that I saw, like the train kind of comes to the camera, right?
Yeah.
Like POV shot.
Mm-hmm.
And we never actually see that like image of
the body being like thrown by the train or whatever.
Not even, no, not even being hit,
Mm-hmm.
but I'm saying he leaps and it cuts. And we don't know. We never see contact. It's not Faces of Death. But like, so you two, in your memory, this played out exactly as you remember as well?
I didn't even remember Chris O'Donnell.
I just remember him getting hit by a train.
Okay. Yeah. And there's like, this is also the first use of hats equal bad things in this movie.
A rolling hat is never a good sign.
Rolling hats are bad things.
Harbinger of death.
Getting hats at your house, stocking up boxes of hats, means you're going to get kicked down the stairs while pregnant.
It used to be if you saw a black dog. Now it's
hats.
Mhm.
these days it's a rolling hats.
Yep.
This is the central theme of the movie.
If your hat is ever blown off in real life, it's gone. You're never going to see it again. Don't go for
You're
it.
dead.
You're going to get killed.
Don't turn back and wave. Just
Nope.
get out of there.
These two characters, Ruth and Iggy, they had front row seats for what is probably an indelible image for the rest of their lives. I don't know how you, A, could let Buddy Jr. come anywhere near those tracks, B, start a new business. What, 5 feet?
Yeah.
5 feet?
Yeah.
Called
6, maybe?
the whistle stop. Yeah.
Yeah.
What is going on with the trauma?
To be fair, this is, set in the Depression, and the railroads are still like the functioning thoroughfare for commerce in the
I suppose,
in the United States. Like after World War II is when it happened, is when it started being highways and car driven and all that.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, this is still, the ghost train that she hears is like right near the parked car that she's sitting in. Also, Josh, just to go back for a second, this is why you shouldn't wear hats, because that blows off. Your wife goes to get it. Bye, Jackie.
She has hats. She has hats that like
Well,
Jenna Von Away or Blossom could have worn.
It's just as dangerous for you then.
Yeah. Sorry, 6.
He had to go off and
6 or Blossom.
he had to go off and do School Ties and become a big star. He's very charming in this. Like you could see the star power of Chris O'Donnell like really early.
He was Robin in like one of the Batmans, right?
2 of them.
Yeah. 2 of them. Yeah.
Yeah, he actually was Robin for 2 different Batmans.
Yep.
That's how Robin he was. But yeah, I think he had just done like Men Don't Leave, maybe.
Yeah,
before
which
this.
was with this director.
Yeah,
John
okay,
Avnet.
so that's why he's pulling him in. So wait, Men Don't Leave came right after this, then, right?
No, it's right before it.
Really? Because I thought this was Avnet's. debut.
That was a made-for-TV movie. Men Don't
Oh,
Leave
it was.
Yeah.
You said your wife has a
Oh.
Blossom hat?
I'm joking. She
I was gonna
has.
say that would be a Blossom hat would be a really good rolling hat.
Yeah, those would
pop-
roll
that just-
really well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All the more dangerous.
Well, and Jenna Von Oy was the other name that I dropped, and that was 6. That's the actress who plays 6. I just didn't say
Oh.
Maya Bialik.
Those are 2 really odd names
Yep,
for one show.
big time.
that Josh definitely knows.
Oh, I could name almost the
Yeah.
whole cast.
I don't doubt that.
Yeah.
For
Joey
1
Lawrence,
second.
that's all I got. I could never remember.
the brother
Maya-
was. Oh shit!
Maya-
I'm not gonna.
Joey Lawrence.
remember.
That's Joey
Joey
Lawrence.
Lawrence is no,
No,
the
the
other
other
brother, Tony.
The older.
Yeah.
Oh, she
Anthony.
had an older
Mhm.
brother? Wow.
Yeah, he was an ambulance driver.
He didn't say whoa.
He did not say whoa.
That's why we don't remember him.
Yeah.
I'll tell you that much.
Yeah. That's why he wasn't
Joey-
starring in shows with Melissa Joan Hart later.
Joey knew that he needed a catchphrase.
Big time. So you mentioned a little later that we later find out Ninny was Iggy. Now, this is a bit of a contentious element of the film. Where do you guys come down on whether or not Ninny was in fact Iggy or whether she was not?
What do you mean? What do you mean?
They're
She is.
I don't think so.
I'll flip this fucking table over right now. Don't
This is a contentious point. That's what I was getting at.
That's
So
she's-
Iggy shows up at the end to drop off Honey with a perfectly clean, like brand new note on the same day that Ninny has been dropped off at the Whistle Stop Cafe.
This is meant to be ambiguous, but early on, Ninny says that she married Iggy's brother.
The one with glasses, which is why
A different, a
she
different
knows
brother.
everything.
Yes, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, she's the one that Iggy jumps on and because he sticks his tongue out at her, and the one that shows up to help Ruth move out of punchy husband's
But
house.
she's basically given no lines in the flashbacks, and in the books, they're definitively different characters.
So Iggy married that guy?
No.
Wait, what?
So
Or
that's
Ninny?
Iggy's brother.
Ninny says that she married Iggy's brother,
The
who
one
would be the
didn't
one
die.
the one who didn't die. But he obviously,
With the glasses.
yes.
Oh.
The one who sticks his tongue out and gets fucked up by.
And then
young
later in
Iggy.
the movie is the one who comes and helps move Ruth out of the home with Big George. Is presumably
and that's
Iggy's
the last
brother.
we ever see of
Yeah.
him, because he's off with Ninny.
So Ninny married him.
But this is a lot of people think that Ninny is Iggy, and like it's left ambiguous enough that you could like make that leap, but it would be really weird for her to say that if she is Iggy, that she married her own brother. Like that's fucked up too, right?
Yeah.
Unless she's playing the long game.
Yeah.
that
I
she
assumed
wants to
Iggy married Grady, right?
I mean, Iggy shouldn't have married anybody, but
Yeah, right. Because she's actually lesbian.
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
I mean, there's reason to believe if you wanted to like watch this as like a straight person who doesn't believe that gay people exist, you could definitely think that she got with like it's set up to think that she could have gotten with Grady.
Like, here's why I thought she got with Grady, because at the end she said she had a son. So I thought she married Grady. And I was like, oh, she's bi or something.
Right.
I don't know. But that's that was how when I didn't realize that she was actually
so
not-
Mary Stuart Masterson says
Ninny said that. Ninny said that she had a son.
that. Gotcha. So if we're operating that Ninny is Iggy,
Yes. Yeah. Which I have been my entire fucking life.
Right. Then she would have had to have gotten with Grady.
again, another one of the big problems we're going to encounter because we have this source material. Whereas Josh said, if this is clearly defined in the novel
Mhm.
that Ninny is a character, that she has kind of a all access pass to this because she's married to Iggy's brother and she knows all the stuff's going on secondhand or firsthand, then then it's clear this is a convention of the screenplay to add some ambiguity and to fuck with Gabe's mind.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Which it did.
And not just Gabe. This is one of the first like questions that you would have autofilled for you if you type in fried green tomatoes and Ninny is Ninny and Iggy, same character. Like
I couldn't even process your question. I was like, what are you trying to say?
Yeah.
When you asked that,
Yeah.
so I was like, you just...
I saw your brain break.
Yeah. No, but
I have full body chills, and I want to punch you for some reason, even though this isn't your fault. It's not your fault.
No, it's John Avnet's fault.
You did this.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm like, excuse me? What are you
Like-
fucking saying?
It's
Yeah.
like a deep space background.
Yeah, with all
over
the
you.
geometry or whatever.
Yeah.
But it's also a weird thing because Ninny shouldn't know all of these things if she's not Iggy.
Right? I gotta read this book, because I'm thinking that it's like The Color Purple, where they took out all the gay shit. Because Miss Seeley and fucking Miss Shug, they had like a full-on sexual... They were a couple in the book.
And they're definitely
But
a
in the
couple
movie-
in the book. Iggy and Ruth
In the
are.
book?
Mhm.
See, that's what I was thinking. I'm like, I
Wow.
wonder if they took out all the gay
They did.
shit. Yeah.
Yep.
Okay, so why?
Because it's 1991.
Because it's 1991, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it just feels like, you have
Well, this did bonkers box office numbers. This made 110 million worldwide and like 84 domestically. Like, it made a shitload of money.
Yeah.
84 million in 1991 was a lot of goddamn dough.
And maybe it doesn't if...
Right. Then you're dealing with an indie art house movie that, like, Norman Lear's not going to produce.
Because it seemed like the big confession on the witness stand was that she's my best friend.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And, like, clutch your pearls. And I love her. But it's like, there's where you need your Summersby moment of, like, because I'm in love with her.
Yeah.
Dude,
Full fucking stop.
Yeah.
I think the way the camera panned on her face when she said, "I'm as settled as I've ever wanted to," or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, gay!
Yeah.
Gay! You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
Come on. That was enough to make, like, a young queer kid just shiver.
It's impossible not to read it as
If
that.
I ever hope to be.
I mean, even, like, when they're first kind of getting, becoming friends, and they're quasi-skinny dipping, I think that in,
Hot.
the book they probably
Dude.
are. And then she kisses her. I'm like, you are cock-teasing this poor girl.
She kisses her and then jumps in the water, and then it shows her face like, Iggy, like, oh my god, I love her, or whatever, It's so gay. The whole thing's gay.
You're really baiting.
Yeah.
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 I mean, they're cohabitating. They're raising her child. They own a business together. They're partners.
Small business owners.
Yeah.
This is like my dream.
Yeah.
Like, honestly, I mean, like I said, maybe I didn't tell you guys that, but I've been waiting for the second round of divorces, so I can finally get a big group of my lady friends to all, like, live together.
Sure.
I'll take care of the chickens. I'm a good chicken person.
Would this be a commune or a coven?
It'd be whatever you want, baby.
Okay.
I don't care.
Depends on the day.
So the plot points kept rushing back to you, and you remembered Frank, Ruth's shithead husband, kicking her down the stairs and then eventually getting served up at the Whistle Stop Cafe. In your head, was that a more immediate consequence for his having kicked her down the stairs while pregnant, or did you remember the later attempted kidnapping?
I remember him coming back, yeah, because they were all settled in and feeling, although, I mean, it hadn't been that long because that baby wasn't, like, big or anything.
Right.
It was like a year.
Yeah.
And
they're not charged until 5 years later when they find the body, or the truck, rather, not the body.
Yeah, I remember him coming back and there being, like, that guy, I forget his name.
Smokey?
What is his name? No.
Oh, the sheriff from Georgia?
No, they were whipping, was it Big George?
Big George, yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
And I was just like, oh. And him hurting that old lady that's like, leave the baby alone. I forget her name.
Cicely Tyson. Academy Award nominee. R.I.P.
When he, like, knocks her out and... Oh.
Yeah, he shotgunned her, like pistol whipped her, but with a shotgun.
Yeah, and I remember that. I hated that.
Did you remember it being her that killed him?
No. I couldn't remember who it was. For some reason, I think I thought that it was ambiguous and that nobody really knew. You know what I mean? Because, I mean, honestly, like, she just hit him in the head with a frying pan. We don't...
Right.
They didn't show him, like...
And she's not a big woman. I mean, Cicely Tyson presumably has caved in a man's skull with a frying pan, summoning the strength of...
I think he'd get fucked up, you know? He'd maybe have a concussion,
1,000
but...
sons. Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
But, like, she could have knocked him out, somebody else could have slit his throat, chopped him up. I mean, either way... I wouldn't be eating meat after that. I know that for sure.
There is that line about it's hog boiling time.
Yeah.
Or whatever she says.
Well, because human meat is called long pig.
Mm-hmm. I'd try it.
I just want to take a second here to talk about, like, how...
I'm waiting for my alive moment where I have to.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You're orchestrating your alive moments.
Yeah. I've been building my whole life to ending up in alive situations. I've got to get really good at Argentine soccer.
Yeah, and you're just like, what else could I do? I had no choice.
Yeah.
You got a big coat full of different hot sauces you brought with you.
I think they were
I'll stop.
Uruguayan.
Oh, I think they are Uruguayan, yeah.
Yeah, I think they crash land in Chile, but I think they're from Uruguay. Okay, I think they fucked the boat a little bit on not using Cicely Tyson in this movie. She's lost in this thing.
She has nothing to do.
She has nothing to do. She just kind of ghosts around the back of the shot, mostly.
She has like 10 lines. And she's in a bunch of fucking scenes.
We don't have a moment... Sipsy.
Oh.
I mean, Cecily Tyson is a huge name. Like,
she'd been nominated for Best Actress for fucking Sounder in 72. Like, she is an established great actress.
And to put her in kind of this, like, background, basically extra, glorified extra duty in a lot of these scenes. There's a moment when we talk about Iggy's mom dying. Like, Iggy's mom's dead. Like, there's a moment where maybe Sipsy would take her and talk to her about that grief and comfort this de facto daughter that she has raised, and maybe say, like, you look to me as your mom now, or whatever it is. Give Cecily Tyson something to fucking do. There's not much there. Even comforting Ruth, it's like taking care of Ruth. There's no conversations about life. There's no conversations about what we're going to do with Buddy Jr. There's just a lot of, like, morphine threatening and, like, profile shots of a hypodermic. Again, another casualty, I'm presuming, having not read this thing, and maybe I fucking got to read this thing, from the book, of just, we didn't have time to, like, we got to, you know, this budget thing, I don't know, 20 million? What's the budget on this thing?
I think it's 11. It's only 11.
11. Yeah. We got to move. We don't have Cecily Tyson, a foremost character in this. Like, we're going to just call that a casualty of production and move on.
Right.
But, like, it does suck to just have her.
Maybe it was to get people to be like, hey, fucking Cecily Tyson's in this movie. Because maybe.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah.
Maybe those other people are.
It has second and third most recent Best Actresses. Best Actress winners.
Doesn't it say, like, special appearance by, like, in the opening credits?
She gets, like,
she either gets a special appearance or she gets the ultimate and Cecily Tyson.
Because the two main characters weren't, like, super well known then, right?
They were not.
You're talking Iggy and Ruth?
Yeah, it's kind of like having Drew Barrymore in the beginning of Scream. You're like, what are you doing here?
Yeah.
But, like, nobody knew who Nev Camp, whoever those fucking people are, Skeet Ulrich or...
Yeah, but I mean, Drew Barrymore has way more lines in the opening line of Scream than Cecily Tyson does in this movie.
That's true, and I also do not want to compare Drew Barrymore to... Like, it's the exact same thing. It's like, no.
Way too late.
You know what I mean?
Way too late. Yeah.
Riding in Cars with Boys was...
It's like if you had Drew Barrymore or, like, I don't know, Meryl Streep in the background of Scream.
Exactly.
Like, as a teacher that just doesn't say much.
Yeah.
Anyway.
No, it's like they have three, like, very celebrated older female actors here. You know, they've got Kathy Bates having won in 1990. She won Best Actress for Misery. And the year before, it was Tandy winning for Driving Miss Daisy. And then Cecily Tyson was nominated for Best Actress in the 70s. Like, these are legit actresses. Yeah. And it's kind of crazy that not that much of the story is like dependent upon these three actresses.
It's interesting.
And I'm not knocking Mary Stuart Masterson or Mary-Louise Parker necessarily, but it seems strange to me that that's how the movie's structured.
I clocked that too, Josh, now that you mention it. I was trying to think of, like, what's a movie where you have preceding champ and reigning champ of Best Actor, or Best Actress in this case, doing a movie together.
Well, I think there's an Oscar year in between. This was released in 91 for the Oscars, basically, but it's a 92 movie essentially, and the year between is Jodie Foster winning.
Right, but they're making it in 91.
Yeah,
which
sure.
Is they're coming off the heels. So I mean, Kathy Bates is probably, like, either winning or about to win when she's in production for this.
1990 was Misery? I thought it was earlier than that. That's crazy.
Yeah. 90.
Yep.
I thought it was like in the 80s or late 70s or something.
Yeah, it's only 2 years before this went into production. Basically, this would have been, there might have been one movie in between, but I think this was more or less the next movie she did after winning Best Actress.
Misery was her, like, first becoming a character actor, right?
Well, Misery was not. I don't think you can call that a character actor because she's the lead and she.
Or that's what I mean. What is it called?
Yeah, lead actor.
A character actor is the one that is like the sidekick.
Yeah.
A character actor in this movie would be like the Reverend, right? Or the bad husband, or.
But yeah, Misery was her first, like, main character thing because she was never really supposed to be like anything other.
She must have fucking crushed that audition. I wish I could see that tape.
Yeah.
Because she does not have anything really on the resume to necessitate, like, lead actress across James Caan in a Rob Reiner film. Like, credit to Rob Reiner for going, like, she's Annie Wilkes.
Yeah.
and not folding on that, because what a fucking casting decision.
I'm guessing it was like he saw her in Night Mother or something, because she'd won the Tony for that in '83. And so like she had done like great work on Broadway, but not everyone sees that. It must go back to that, because there aren't credits in the like intervening years between where it like makes sense.
Yeah. That's cool.
And to like get that at 40, like
Right.
sometimes you see somebody get a big part at 25 or something, like it felt like Margot Robbie came out of nowhere to be in Wolf of Wall Street. But like, yeah, this is like a really good success story for Bates. And like,
And she deserves it. She's amazing.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Were there any other plot points that stuck out as being something you didn't remember at all when you watched it this time?
Yeah. That fucking ninny wasn't Iggy, I guess.
Sure.
That
Again,
could be it.
It is a justifiable like reading.
I mean, that's a truth bomb that Josh is dropping now, though.
Yeah.
Like, what during the movie were you like, oh yeah, oh shit? Like, for me, it was Ruth's cancer. I was like, oh, it's a cancer movie.
Yeah. They've got to beaches this up.
Yeah, and I feel like, God, like...
Don't even say that movie name.
Again, if there was no source material, I could just plainly, like, criticize the screenplay, because it's like, and then, like, Poochie went home, It's like, and then Ruth had cancer. It's like, ah.
And then lesbianism ended.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like, we gotta do the cancer thing, and the bed, and the tearful goodbye to the son, and...
But they don't even like really like she doesn't even visibly die. She's just laying on the bed, and it's that like shot from across the room, and so like it's a rack focus shot with her in the sort of mid ground, and then Iggy going to the window and telling the story again about the ducks or whatever, the ducks flying away with the lake.
Duck story. Fuck my life. The fucking duck story. And I'm actually like applying the logic there, where I'm like, okay, so their feet were frozen.
But they can fly that lake away.
But they could lift a body like an iceberg. Is like, that's why I'm not.
It's actually the iceberg that sunk the Titanic.
Yeah. Well, it's a little bit after that.
They dropped it.
Who knows? Who knows actually when that story took place?
It could, because it starts in like what, 1918 or 19 is when the movie starts, maybe 20.
I think it starts in 20 because that's when Buddy dies,
right?
According to his tombstone. But no, it's a good point, Josh, because like if I'm telling a story and my friend's dying of cancer, and I look back and their eyes are closed, I don't go, they're dead. I go, okay, they've been sleeping in a bed all day. Like, you need to have I'm going to do this a lot. You need to have Mary-Louise Parker have her fucking eyes open in that scene.
On set, Avnet called them Stu and Lou.
Yeah, great. Rhyming names. That's not going to get confusing either. But like, have her eyes rolled back in her head or something, or just like a death mask of a face. It's such a weird shot.
It's strange to keep it there and never cut.
Strange to keep it there and never cut. And also, like, he does this thing, which is so frustrating, where he cuts when he shouldn't.
Right. Yeah.
There's a scene when Mary-Louise Parker is consoling young Buddy. And he's at the dam, and he's got his baseball glove, doing the fucking Jim Abbott.
I was like, dude, Jim Abbott just broke like 2 years before, so that's why this is happening. This is happening because of Jim Abbott.
Not to presume Gabe doesn't know arcane baseball stuff, but Jim Abbott was a one-handed pitcher. One-handed pitcher. Yeah.
Okay.
Which is just amazing. And shout out.
He threw a no-hitter. Like he was a good pitcher and pitched with one hand.
He did this really cool move where he would throw and then immediately transition on his follow through the throwing hand into the glove.
Yeah.
Oh, I think
I've seen
videos of this.
Yeah.
Was he just missing a hand or a whole arm?
He had like a stump sort of.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. I think, didn't he have like a form of not wrist cancer, but didn't he have a form of cancer that ended up having to, like, they had to amputate part of his arm?
Yeah, I don't think it was like a farm accident or something like that. But to get back to that point, like, they have this really touching scene, or attempted to be touching, but Avnet cuts, does this really strange thing, and if you guys go back and watch it, we have a two shot of them, Buddy's looking off into the distance. Mary Stuart Masterson's telling him, about stories and trying to console him. And then we cut to just him picking up a baseball and putting it back down in the net. I mean, that seems like coverage in terms of like, oh, something fucked up. The kid looked at the lens. And not a great kid actor. Like, neither of these kid actors were good. But I don't know how you break the intensity of that by cutting. And I think Avnet does that a lot. This is his first, I guess, theatrical film, Josh, right?
He'd worked primarily in TV before.
Yeah, I think that these are moments where that shows.
Yeah. He had to cut for commercial.
Yeah, and like, if you're going to give me a Ruth is dead and it's terrible, give me a interstitial cutaway to her looking really dead.
Yeah.
And letting that sink. Was
there anything else that's coming back to you, Gabe, that you like didn't remember at all and was a surprise this time?
No.
Okay.
Gabe, did you remember the Klan when they showed up?
Yeah.
I didn't. I was like, oh God, fucking Klan. And then in my mind, they fed the barbecue to the Klan guys or something. Like,
yeah. No, I remember them. And it didn't surprise me because I was like, of course that guy's in the fucking Klan. Because I remember them hurting Big George. And that stuck with me because his face. They were like whipping him, and I remember just being like, they're still doing that shit? Like, what the, what I mean? I don't know.
Right.
Somebody kept a whip.
They still exist, and they're not a terrorist group or anything, but fucking Black Lives Matter.
It's a fair assumption that the sheriff from Georgia would, given the history of the Klan, so many of them were law enforcement officers. It's a fair read to assume that they're feeding him to the Klan because that guy is probably a Klan member.
Oh, yeah,
it is. Sure. It is really weird, though, that the Klan doesn't show up to look for this guy and make more trouble. We have like one shitty mustached, weird faced dude.
It's like, I'm onto you, girly girl. I'm like, chill out, you sweaty fuck. God.
I would like to presume that he might be a nice guy in real life, but boy, he's working uphill with that fucking mug and that voice. Like, maybe there's a bunch of onsets.
And they made his hair like greasy and look like that on his like forehead. I'm onto you, girl. It's like, okay.
Let's talk just a little bit about his appetite, because
damn,
I'm sure that this is a huge deal. In my memory of this, it wasn't something that was revealed at the end of the movie. It was something that just like everybody kind of knew at the moment.
Yeah.
I did forget that she confirmed that they killed him, and I always thought it was just a thing that everybody knew as well, but nobody really knew.
It's possible because there are two cuts. There's the cut that's 2 hours and 16 minutes is technically like the non-theatrical cut that was then released everywhere and aired on TV. So like it's possible
I saw that.
It's possible you watched a cut that like that it was left more ambiguous because there's like 6 extra minutes that is like widely available. So it's hard to say which is which, but like on DVD it's the 2 hour and 16 minute cut, not the 2 hour and 10 minute cut.
Okay. So just real quick, just because I want to flag this for later. I want to see if there is a cut of this movie where we see Chris O'Donnell in front of the train as he leaps, like to try to get off. I'm just going to flag that. We can come back to it later. I'll text you both if it's true.
Do you mean like his foot gets loose and he...
Well, because he gets his foot out of the boot. We're meant to believe that he gets his foot out of the boot. It's just not in time.
Yeah.
So I always thought like a schoolyard debate was that he gets his foot out of the boot.
His foot out of the
boot. His foot out of the boot. Canadian.
What are you from Canada?
Canadian. What are you talking about? And that he leaps the wrong way. That he leaps like the length of the track instead of just ditching out where the rail was. Where his foot was. There's something in my head that like I can't shake this. Maybe I created
like he jumps towards the train or something.
No.
I know, like the other way.
He jumps left. He jumps towards it to stop it.
He's like, I'm Robin. Yeah.
I'll tell you, Robin would have got his foot out of that much quicker. He was kind of a gymnast, escape artist.
He doesn't have laces. Yeah, dude.
But, okay, did they feed more than just shitty, racist sheriff?
Did everybody in that town eat that
man
shit?
meat.
Because I'm hoping not.
There is a moment
I
when,
think it's
like,
just racist. They keep this
when-
on the back burner all the time. And whenever it's one of those clan fuckers, they serve up. Because it's a lot of meat. It's a lot of meat. You got to.
It's a lot. It's a lot of meat. And he keeps coming back. And, like, he would know if the barbecue now suddenly tastes drastically different. Like,
or
if
does
he's
it
finger
taste
licking
drastically
good.
different, you know?
Well, it's supposed to taste
How do
like
you
pork,
know,
right?
John?
We're going to ask Josh when
I
he
finally get
crashes
my
it
life.
Are
with
you
the
out here
fucking
eating
soccer
people?
team. I'm saying I've lived in New York. I've had a hot dog. I probably have had it. I just didn't know that I had it. But there's a scene where a young black guy comes to the screen door and Cecily Tyson says, like, oh, no.
And that is one of the
we
scenes
don't
that's
got-"
only in the 2 hour and 16 minute cut, the longer later cut.
Then I saw that.
Okay.
But, like, how much of abusive husband was fed to other people other than Mustache Joe? Like, are we presuming that the guy who comes by and talks to Big George about the barbecue, that he ate the man meat? Is that what you would presume as well?
Well, now that because I forgot about that guy coming to the screen door, and she's like, "Go on now, get."
Yeah.
That
Tomatoes only. Today.
Yeah, they were only feeding that to the racist guy. They wouldn't do that to their community.
Yeah, I wouldn't.
Maybe
think
it's
so.
just people who come
But
through
you
on
gotta
the
get rid of
train.
him.
All right.
So then what? You store him in freezers? Like you store...
And this is
They
like
see a guy
well
with
before
size 14s.
yeah.
This is before what, Josh?
This is before freezer, like commercial grade freezers are readily available. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, they probably had like a legitimate...
They had
like
an
a
ice
little
man.
ice
Yeah.
box.
Yeah. The ice truck would come up and deliver ice, once every 2 or 3 days, probably.
And that's fine too, but like a skull, a spinal cord,
Fingernails.
a pelvis, fingernails, teeth. What are they eating? Teeth?
No, they're surely deep. I mean, you don't put the meat on the bone in the, like, you get rid of the bones, right?
I guess, but where? Where are those bones? I found the whole trial like
Sure.
The whole trial is super suspect, though, right?
I mean, this is completely fake. Let's remember that.
Wait, this isn't a documentary?
Maybe the book goes into it a little bit more, and I feel like a broken record saying that, but like, there's habeas corpus is still a thing. Like, they mention it once. Like, there's no fucking body. We don't know that this guy is dead. His fucking car is in a river, which is weird because it's like, I would assume that floods would have hid that better and a drought would have exposed a car, but what do I know about topography? Because, like, that's the year the floods came.
That's the other recurring theme of this podcast is what does Sean know about topography?
That was a really good impression of Ninny. You're like, that's the year the floods. You did that really good.
He's got Tandy. That's like in his wheelhouse.
I had jokes all day with,
Cocoon?
with Tandy voice. Yeah, I have. But like, okay, yeah, I guess I was a little confused by that trial and like the weird way it kind of ended where we had this judge be like, I'm going to speak so loudly that everybody in the court will hear this is a mistrial. Like, I was like, oh boy, like that's really like, let's get it to the next like chapter on the DVD menu.
Yeah. So just getting into the sort of book and the origin of the film a little bit. This was obviously based on a book, as we've mentioned. It was based on the 1987 Fannie Flagg novel, Fried Green Tomatoes at the Whistle-Stop Cafe, which producer Lisa Lindstrom had gotten director John Avnet to read. Avnet liked it enough that he wanted to adapt it into a film, and he pitched the idea to Norman Lear's production company, Act 3 Communications. R.I.P. Norman Lear. They greenlit the adaptation of the book into a script, which was first attempted by Annie Scribe Carol Sobieski as a musical. And that didn't seem to have worked, though. I've seen conflicting reports saying that the script was actually pretty good. It's just not the movie they wanted to make. Then they brought on Fannie Flagg, the book's author, to try to attempt to adapt it. And she got about 70 pages into a draft before pulling out of the project and letting Avnet spend the next 2 to 3 years of his life finishing the adaptation. Once he finished, it was given the go-ahead to go into production, with Tandy and Bates being the first to sign on. And he definitely wrote the Ninny character with Tandy in mind.
I mean, that's all evident.
Yeah.
I think in this movie. There are so many like And then this happened, moving on. And then this happened, and let's wrap this up and get to the next thing. Like, there's not a lot of time spent cleaning up transitions, making this script a bit more, I don't know. It feels like we have, as you mentioned, a lot of cooks in the kitchen on this screenplay. And for Abnett, I don't know his writing backstory, but like, that's a tough thing to like, okay, we have an accomplished screenwriter fucking bail, not do rewrites, apparently. We have the author come in, which sometimes can work, sometimes it's not. What is important to the author might not be important to the screenplay and to like the producers of like, oh, well, let's definitely get this in, let's definitely lose this. R.I.P. Kyle and the whole fucking backstory about being a mom for Kathy Bates, or maybe a decent role for Cecily Tyson. And then you have a director work 3 years on a screenplay, patching it up to get it produced.
Right.
I think all that is clear as I watch this movie. And I definitely would not have noticed that as a 10-year-old or 11-year-old or whatever.
No, yeah, the same.
There's like a moment where we touch on Kathy Bates' husband's polyamory.
Oh, yeah.
Do you remember that?
She's like,
out of fucking nowhere.
Remember when I told you, Ed, something about, remember how you said it'd be nice to have 2 women in the house or whatever?
And he's like, yeah.
She's like, well, one's old as fuck. Yeah.
What if one is an octogenarian? You know, but like, wait, back it up. What?
He's been soft selling this shit for like a decade.
Right.
Like, once the kids leave, we could get another woman in here, right?
Because he's never sexually interested in his wife, ever, in this movie. No. I mean, even when he brings her flowers, it seems apologetic. Mm-hmm. It doesn't seem like a romantic gesture.
Yeah, it's perfunctory, not romantic, yeah.
There's even, and like, she, again, Abnett not cutting to, name I can't remember, but like, her husband, when she puts her foot down, and she's like, no, Ninny's gonna come live with us, like, this is what's gonna happen. We have this really flat 2-shot, and she kind of leaves the frame and leaves kind of upstage and gone. Like, give me a shot there that shows the husband accepted. You know, I see my wife. This is something that she really wants. I need to step up as a husband and support her in that moment. It's just kind of like, no more dialogue for him. No more close-ups of him. She's just going to leave. And like, we never see him welcome Ninny, of course, into the family. We never really come back to him at all.
Yeah, because she's like found herself. Like, he's not important.
Yeah.
He didn't take this journey with her. You know what I mean? She did this in spite of him.
He just wants 2 women in a house.
Yeah.
Do y'all think that this film doesn't pass the reverse Bechdel test? I don't think there's a single conversation where a man is talking to another man and it's not talking about a woman in the film, which is kind of awesome in a funny way. That the men have like no agency.
I never even thought of that. Yeah.
I mean, even with Abusive Husband and Smokey, it's still like, you're not taking Ruth's baby.
Taking my wife. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So yeah, I guess I can't think of a scene. Josh, so good job.
Remember the lady that's her friend that had short hair that sounded like she had like the voice of Patty Mayonnaise?
Yeah, like her...
The friend who takes her to the mirror...
Yeah.
The mirror party?
She sounded just like Patty Mayonnaise to me, didn't she? From the show Doug?
She definitely seemed like a character voice kind of person. Like a cartoon voice. In my mind, I was like, was she on Roseanne or something? Like...
Constance Schulman. She's Missy, right?
Oh, she did. She was the voice of Patty. Okay. Yeah.
Good job.
Good catch.
Weird.
Good pull.
Gabe, can I ask you, if you're going to a party in 1990 and then they spring on you that you're all going to look at your vaginas, because that came out of nowhere. Like, Kathy Bates was not going to that party knowing what was going to happen.
It was like a ladies group, yeah.
It was a ladies group, and it was like, hey, everybody get fucking naked in this, like, man den with like a bust of a warthog.
Yeah, and then this lady's like, what's wrong with you? You don't want to look at your vagina? Like, screaming at her, and she's like, what?
I think,
just
like,
got
okay,
here.
I don't know you people,
Mrs.
and I know you're all
Couch!
going to be like, you're all
Yeah.
going to be stealing a glimpse at
Yeah.
my.
Yeah.
it's like I thought we were like all coming here to like discuss Out of Africa. You know, like
Right.
why are we looking at our pussies now?
Yeah.
Out of nowhere. And like no shit, she's like upset by this.
I wouldn't have liked it. I mean, I was real young then, but even, dude, in 8th grade, I went to this girl's pool party, and all the girls were changing in front of each other, and I'm not like that. And I was really like, I mean, they were like naked, and I was like,
Yeah.
oh my god, and I like had to call my, I'm like, I like had to call my mom, you know, because I'm just not a like, you know,
Yeah.
or in the gym. The gym.
Yeah, the locker room and gym.
No, I'm waiting for the stall for that. I'm not busting that shit out in front of everybody. It's weird. So no, I wouldn't have had a good time in 1990 looking at my vagina in a hand mirror.
with like 12
with
or 15 other
with
people
a dozen plus other women in the
in
room.
like a questionably carpeted room with
Yeah.
like a gun rack.
Yeah. No.
Mounted fish and
Mounted.
an ibex. What the fuck was that? Like,
I don't know.
like someone went on a goddamn safari and killed like an African. Like, I don't know.
Some sort of
I
ram.
think it was a good. I think it was a gnu.
Oh my god. I'm gonna Google that because I know what that is.
So
I don't even know if you pronounce the G. To be honest, Gabe, I just don't.
Oh, it's a
I don't know.
wildebeest. No.
it was a wildebeest.
Yeah. Wildebeest.
Okay.
Okay. It's a gnu. A gnu. Who knows?
Oh, right. Okay.
A blue.
Oh, I thought you were confirming what bust of animal is in the pussy room.
Yeah, that's what I.
Is that the actual?
That's what it's
search?
called, right? It is
you-
called the pussy room, right?
The pussy room. Yeah.
Could you imagine that Google search? What was the animal head in fried green tomatoes where
Pussy room.
they looked at? Yeah.
That's
Can you
what.
imagine being that woman's husband, presumably because there's a fucking dead animal head and a gun as a man.
She's like, honey, can we use the pussy room tonight? And he's like, yeah. Sure.
That's what it's for.
Just cover the news
Alabama.
eyes. He's. I don't know.
Yeah, and they definitely have like a singing Billy Bass there on the wall.
100%.
Pussy room's my nickname for my Subaru.
Nice.
And yes, it's an Outback. Okay.
Yeah, no, we have an Outback too. I get it. And it's my wife's car.
I should be way more gay than I am. So. Yeah. All right.
So, given your parents being pretty religious around the time this would have come out, Sean wondered if this was something your mom let you watch having already seen it, or if it wouldn't have been pre-screened and cleared. Did you get a chance to ask your mom about how you would have come to watch? Okay.
She said that we didn't watch it as a family together, but her and dad had watched it. She said that she thought we were too young to watch that at the time.
So you found a way to watch it on your own steam.
Yeah, and she's like, maybe when you were older, we all watched it or something, but
Okay.
yeah.
Did she know why you had Blue Lagoon in the house?
She says that we didn't. She's like, I've never seen it.
Okay.
Because she was also in she said she was in a mom group where they were like, this is outrageous. She's 16 years old. So she was like, that would have never been in there. She's like, you maybe watched it on cable or something. And I was like, I don't know. I saw some freaking... I watched it. You know, I'm like, maybe dad had it somewhere or something. I don't know. Which, that makes it worse. Ugh.
Did you just out your dad to your mom?
I think I just... Ugh. Okay.
We don't have a sex scene in this movie.
Yeah.
I don't know about the language. I mean, it feels really kind of... I mean, I guess when, like, Iggy is on the stand, she yells at the lawyer, which not a great avenue to take if you're defending your own life.
What did she call him again? Because I remember I wanted to use that sometime.
I think it was a baboon at one point, or like a son of a bitch baboon. I don't know. But what do you think it was, Gabe, that this movie was kind of like off limits? Like if your parents watched it on their own.
I thought we were too young. I'm guessing probably just stuff that... Because mom said that she would, as far as vetting stuff, because she has anxiety, so she was like worried about us having things that would stick in our brains that were like, would maybe not let us sleep or like sort of like take on the world when we're too young. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. And so I'm guessing, I don't know, the murder of a guy and eating them. Kids getting hit by trains. Adult stuff. God, the bees alone probably would have freaked the shit out of me, knowing me.
Okay.
You know what I mean? But so in 1990, how old was I? 82. I can't math. That's 8?
You'd have been probably 10 or 11 when you would have seen this, because it came out. Almost everyone saw it in 92. It was basically it was released right after Christmas for Oscar consideration, and didn't get a wider release until January of 92.
When that came out, yes, I would have probably been way too young, but I saw it when I was older, I guess, and I loved it. I remember loving it.
Mm-hmm.
Mom was like, probably when you were older, we all watched it.
Sure.
She said if there was some stuff that was like on the cusp of like being okay, but not sure, we'd watch it as a family.
Okay, so they could explain.
Yeah, just so that it's not just like us being like, oh.
Yeah, and not having a sort of rationalization or an explanation like, no, this is why this would have happened.
I asked her why I saw Of Mice and Men. I'm like, remember that when I cried for 2 days? She's like, yeah. She's like, that one just got past.
Yeah.
Steinbeck.
Like, yeah, it's based on a Steinbeck novel. It's probably fine, right?
Yeah.
Celebrated American author.
Yeah. But she said she was real, like, vigilant. Like, she was really involved in different groups that had, like, that were screening stuff for kids because she was worried about it. She's like, I'm like, yeah, but all those...
Like through the church?
Yeah, probably. Or other groups, too.
Okay.
But I was like, all those Disney movies, Mom, they were fucked. And she's like, yeah. I was like Simba cuddled the corpse of his dead father. And she's like, yeah, that was G. She's like, that was G.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. So, I don't know.
Land Before Time or fucking American Tail, like both of those.
I was talking about that. I'm like, Mom, I saw
the
bitten back of that little baby dinosaur's mom. And then remember, I was like, Mom, he was running and his shadow was big and he was like, Mom, and thought it was his fucking mom. Mm-hmm. And I'm at fucking Pizza Pit with the little like plastic fucking things like bawling my eyes out into my fucking personal pan pizza because I'm fucking thinking about this dead mother. It's fucked up. 90s were fucked.
There's a much sadder part of Land Before Time too that is related to the cast. Maybe I should.
Oh yeah, I know the little girl. Yeah. Ducky.
Josh, you know about that?
Mm-mm.
Okay, look that up.
The voice actor. Okay. Look up the voice actor of Ducky.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's tragic. Also, Book It fucking ruled.
Book It
did rule.
Yeah.
Book It was the shit. I read so many books as a kid too. Like I had so many free pan pizzas.
Can you get a personal pan pizza now? Like pizza? Can you actually still order it off the menu?
I did it the other day.
Does it taste the way it did back then?
It does.
Wow.
It's amazing.
I'd be interested to try it. Because I can't eat Pizza Hut generally, but that I think I would be able to do.
Pizza Hut almost killed a friend of ours.
Oh no!
Literally, I had to take him to the emergency room twice.
What? Yeah, but he had
an allergic reaction and his tongue swelled up.
Filled his throat.
What
something in the sauce.
Something could have been in the crust too. Who knows? But this is circa about 2002.
Yeah, they changed the recipe or something.
Oh, they changed.
It never happened before.
Yeah. You know what? I think a personal pan pizza would probably taste better if it was still in those little. Remember, they'd give you these
cast irons.
7 fucking years old, and they're like, "Don't touch the pan." I had mine
like Detroit.
Delivered. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And that fucking crusty ring around it from the pan was just phenomenal.
How do they do it now then?
Well, I had it delivered, so I don't know. I don't even know if Pizza Hut has sit-in things. You know what I mean? Like restaurants.
Not a lot of them.
Can I tell you guys something? Fucking, this is an honest to God, and I like good food. I'm not a gross fuck.
Sure.
I mean, I'm kind of a goblin, but like, I like stuff. I like good stuff.
Yeah.
It's kind of hard to find on the menu, but their taco pizza is the best taco pizza you'll ever have. I don't know if you've ever had it from Pizza Hut.
I haven't.
And I've had lots of taco pizzas, blah, blah, blah. I get it. It's the fucking best. It's been the exact same since I've had it in the 90s. It comes with sour cream and salsa, and it's fucking phenomenal. And I'm telling you, you need to try it. You need to get it. I'm like passionate about it.
No gatekeeping on this show.
Hot take.
I mean, I order Domino's more than I care to admit.
Yeah. But no, a Pizza Hut, it's pretty, I mean, and their thin crust, it's fucking good, man. That's some crispy shit.
I don't think I've ever had Pizza Hut's thin crust.
Oof. It's one of my faves.
I get drowned in the Hudson if I order Domino's or Pizza Hut in New York City.
You live in...
Pizza Mecca.
Yeah.
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 I know.
I would never eat Domino's if I was in New York.
And yet, like I live really close to a Domino's, and it is doing crisp business.
Yeah.
I know. I'm like from a smaller town in Wisconsin, and I'm like, you know what's really good? Jeez, Pizza Hut. It's like, but I like stuff.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's like nostalgic. Just try it once, please.
You like Southern barbecue? Now, has anybody had Frank Green tomatoes?
I've not.
Not like
They're
that.
good.
No.
Yeah, my mom lives in the South, so I definitely have had them. I don't know how. Like, there's a scene where is it Iggy cooking? She's the bad cook, and she burns the shit out of them.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah. How you have a food fight like that and don't fuck?
I know. Oh my god, they were fucking.
What?
Well,
the
because
hell?
they did fuck.
They were fucking.
Yeah. They fucked hard.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, you take a handful of smushed blackberries or whatever down your friend's face, you're fucking that night, like that hour.
Like
you're sitting on that face with the blackberries.
Yes. Yeah.
Yep. How?
My God, I like how close this movie comes.
And
to
Grady's you girls are crazy, and they're like,
you girl.
Yeah.
You don't know the half of it, Grady.
Yeah.
If you're nice, we'll let you watch. Like if you keep the Klan out of here.
Yeah.
I mean, I think the Klan thing, having a guy in a fucking hood in the middle of the night come into your house, like that's a pretty terrifying image.
Yeah.
If we're looking for maybe a little bit more Klan in the movie, I think the Klan comes back probably in the book.
Yeah, I would guess so. Also,
yeah. There's got to be more because it's too.
They don't learn a lesson.
It's
right?
two freaking lesbians in the South who are nice to black people, so they're going to be dealing with a lot more Klan. Also, let me clear this up: they would never let Grady watch. Okay, they would never.
Yeah, good point.
No.
They would never. They're like, we don't like dicks. This isn't for you, Grady. Okay.
But like Grady's probably killed. You don't say like you let him loose with 20 Klan members and then not disappear yourself.
Right.
No. They'd let him live because he's a white man. He's the law. He's a white man. They're not going to kill him unless he killed one of theirs. For sure.
Yeah.
I don't know Klan politics, Gabe. I'm sorry.
I do. I'm very... No, I don't.
So, throwing to the next clip, we asked what memories stuck out to you most about the film.
The gayness. The bees.
Well, give me a second. I'm going to play Give me a second.
It's only the bees and gay. I don't know. I don't remember anything else. Just Iggy, just being like a little ragtag kid and playing baseball and like not wanting to wear dresses and just her like doing her own shit. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And her friendship with this lady.
Yeah.
And the killing of the husband and the barbecuing him and serving him to people. Yeah.
So, do you think that Iggy doing her thing and not conforming to gender roles was something that you viewed as aspirational as a kid?
Yeah. I mean, it was what I felt like on the inside, but I didn't know why. So it was kind of like, I think my little kid brain was like, oh, that's cool. There's other people,
Yeah, sure. What do you think it was about killing Frank and serving him up at the whistle stop that made it stick with you?
That's a real question, right? Because it's murder and cannibalism.
Yeah.
That's
pretty indelible.
But was it like a tittillating thing, or did it play as funny to you, or was it more of like a shocking thing?
It was more of shocking, like holy shit, they fucking
did it still play that way to you now, or
I was
it
like,
more
holy
funny
shit,
now?
they ate a guy, they served a guy a bunch of human. It was fucking weird. It's weird now, it's weird then. It's just, I don't know.
This viewing, I kept coming back to like grill cleaning and maintenance.
Oh yeah, and
I was like, okay, so like afterwards, like this, okay, get rid of Frank. Fuck you, Frank. Bye. But like,
Was a human meat commingling with...
can you scrub it down, please? Can we get a shot of it just being like absolutely scored to this to the metal? Bare
How about
metal?
you just break it down and build another one?
Yeah, yeah. What happened to the old grill? It burned down.
Yeah. It had too much people in it.
Thank God this is pre-DNA, right?
Yeah. I definitely didn't think about this time around. I was like, so like there's trauma there, right? There has to be, like, they're not going to be eating meat anymore? Like the person that's cooking the meat, like what are his views? What's Big George views on meat now? You know what I mean? Like,
yeah, poor Big George.
That's a lot. It's a lot to take in.
Well, obviously there wasn't a lot of trauma with train tracks because like their first like hangout date, they hop a train, right?
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
Yeah. Yep.
It's like
That's hot.
I
That's
don't
hot.
know if I would go back to the train yard, girls, after
That would
seeing
get
a
me.
man explode. That would work. That would have
That
worked.
would
Hop
work
on the
on
train.
me. Oh yeah, I've always wanted to do that. Every time I see a fucking train rolling through a town, I'm like, get out of your car and just get on there.
It was pretty slow. I did clock the speed of it, so I was wondering like why the residents of that Hooverville or whatever weren't doing this themselves.
Yeah.
I also would have just told Iggy like, you can just throw a crate of food too. You know, it was like ear
Those
of
cans
corn,
are exploding everywhere.
ear of corn.
Yeah. You're pelting people with cans.
Right. Yeah.
These
You're
poor
just
people,
injuring
poor
people.
hungry people.
And we know that she's played baseball as a youth,
There was
so-
children. They showed faces of children running. She's just like, here, have some stewed tomatoes. Yeah, there was just ear of corn.
Here you go. Don't say I never gave you nothing.
So, thrown to the next clip. After having it not ring a bell, you recalled frying green tomatoes being a bit of a moment of sexual awakening as follows. So I'm going to throw the clip here.
Oh, I guess, a little bit, because there's a little bit of a lesbian undertone to the friendship that I kind of was like, you can do that? You know what I mean?
Sure.
But that's hard to
Hard to pin down. It's more like a subconscious thing, maybe.
Yeah, it was probably just like that time in my life where, you're just figuring out. It felt a little like, are they going to kiss at any moment? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And
like any scene with Benson and Cabot.
Oh, yeah. But it was something cooler about it
SVU
being...
reference.
Yeah. But it's something cooler about it being like two chicks for me at the time.
Yeah.
So... It's somewhat of a, are they going to, it's a little bit, like, are they going to kiss? Like, Jesus.
Yeah, did you feel like it was lesbian undertone here, or was it overtone?
It was it's a lesbian film.
Yes. Yeah. It won a GLAAD award.
God, the way I talk, I'm like, it's super cool, it's two chicks, bro. Like, fucking relax. Damn.
So you also talked about feeling like you wanted to be able to be like Ruth, but that you were more like Iggy.
Mm-hmm.
As an adult, do you still feel that way?
Yeah, all the time. Yeah.
Okay.
I just would love to be like a human woman. I don't know how to say it. Like a regular human woman. I don't know, that you see on TV where you're like, oh, she's cool and quiet and smart, but not too smart. And like, the perfect thing that nobody is ever. But instead I'm just like, blah, blah, blah.
Was it weird to anybody else to never see Mary-Louise Parker sipping on a iced latte?
Wait, what?
In every scene in Weeds, I swear to fucking Christ,
Oh
she
my God,
always
that's
has.
right.
She always has like an iced latte, and she's sipping the straw. Like
Yeah.
It's preposterous how much.
It's insane. Yeah, it's like...
I wasn't a Weeds watcher, but I was transfixed by just how deep and mahogany her eyes are.
Mhm.
They're like black. Yeah.
Oh
Yeah.
my gosh, she has like the deepest set of these mahogany eyes.
Yeah.
And like,
I noticed that too. Yeah. She just had real dark eyes. Danny, shut up.
It was weird seeing her with freckles. I don't remember her really ever having freckles, but she's definitely seemed to be freckled here.
I didn't notice.
She's getting more sun than she would normally get, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
All right, throw into the last clip. We asked you what you expected coming back to Fried Green Tomatoes after all this time, and you said...
A good time, man. It's going to be a good watch. I'm excited. It's been a while.
more than I think most of the movies we've done, I'm actually expecting to like this from a filmmaking standpoint too.
Yeah.
I think this will probably hold up, but I have no idea.
Yeah. See, those ones are like hard because they flash back to a time when like it's like expected to say and be like racist or homophobic because it's taking place in that time frame. So
Right.
it's like it holds up.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I
Sure.
mean?
Yeah.
But I bet you it's gonna. We could be surprised though, because that's how it always is.
Did you feel like the problematic bullets were mostly dodged here?
I think so. I think this held up.
Okay.
I thought it was really good. The only thing that I was like, ugh, was I just hated how Kathy Bates talked about her body.
My next question was speaking to that. So,
Oh, really?
Yeah. I was going to ask, like, if the sort of feminism was undercut by the getting skinny for yourself or whatever. Like, yeah.
Like a little bit, but not much. Because she was unhappy with herself. So she was
Sure.
making changes for herself, which made changes that made her feel better. So I'm like, okay. I just didn't like her being like, I felt like I was such a fat slut. You know, I'm like, come on, Kathy Bates, be nice to yourself. Come on, Mrs. Couch.
Mhm.
They gave you the last name Couch. You know what I mean? But I thought it fucking held up, man. I thought it was pretty good. It wasn't all... like you said, the reverse
Reverse Bechdel test? Yeah.
Yeah, like they weren't talking about like dudes the whole time and like how to, you know what I mean? I thought it was pretty good. I think it's a good movie.
It's also kind of a reverse Forrest Gump story, too, like as a framing device. Because, like, Iggy is Forrest Gump, right? But this is like if one of those people who sat down on the bench and talked to Forrest Gump had a life and a story. And, like, we followed them home and, like, they kept coming back to the bench to talk to Forrest Gump or something. Like, that's who Kathy Bates is. She's just, like, the witness to this incredible story. Of this character that we're kind of dipping in and out with. This is not, Jessica Tandy is not the lead of this movie. She is hearkening back to a younger time when she was this maybe impetuous youth or maybe the sister-in-law. But like this is a Kathy Bates movie. And she is coming back to this nursing home because she can't get enough of this other woman's story.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, also just like there's probably a pretty good... I thought the movie was kind of going into like, oh, she's going to realize how good of a cook she is or something like that because obviously husband loves the perfect scald on that chicken and she whips together sushi.
Yeah.
Like, that's fucking hard, dude. Granted, she just put like one of the slices of the roll there. Like, there's a whole...
It was definitely hard in 1990, I'll tell you that much. I mean,
Sure.
where are you getting fucking nori and shit? Like,
yeah.
you're not going down to the Winn-Dixie for that, you know?
You're not getting it at the Winn-Dixie.
Yeah.
The thing that was so like
sushi grade salmon.
Yeah.
Like, no.
Minimum, you're probably having to go to New Orleans, fish market there, maybe Atlanta at that time, but like nothing in the state of Alabama is going to be able to help you out.
No.
What was so nostalgic for me was her groceries and like what she's eating. And it's just like, it's all just that processed, total fake food.
Yeah.
Like there's nothing real about any of the food that were in those bags at the Winn-Dixie that she's bought. I mean, she's eating like candy bars, I think, for the first couple scenes. She's got
a Baby
like
Ruth and a Snickers, I believe.
A Baby Ruth, and yeah, I thought it was a Twix when she meets up with Tandy.
I gotta run to the refrigerator and get a piece of cheese. I feel like I haven't eaten anything, and I just realized I'm getting dizzy. Hold on.
Okay,
yeah, sure. Go for it.
Josh and I are talking about food here.
That's what we get.
That happens, yeah. It would be really funny if she came back with like a Baby Ruth and a Twix, and we're like, oh well, that did it. We talked her right into that.
We incepted that idea into her brain. Yeah.
Sorry, y'all.
Okay.
Woo-wee, sorry, y'all. Had to go to that.
No, I had gotten zero sleep and have barely eaten anything, so I get it.
We thought we incepted you because we were talking about food so much.
Oh,
Yeah.
It just got like hot, and I got
Yeah.
dizzy, and I was like, oh fuck, I haven't eaten anything since last night.
So did this pass the there were some things you felt guilty about but still liked it test?
Yeah.
Okay. And a good time was had, I presume? Seems like you had a good time watching this.
It was nice to rewatch it. Yeah.
Okay, so moving on to picking up the scraps, is there anything that we've missed that anybody wants to talk about?
I want to shout out the costume design of Iggy, because it is avant fucking garde.
It's great.
It is really good. It's an amazing choice. She's got like vests, and we're showing off her figure in that scene where she's coming from the Follies or whatever. She's got that like super high belt, and she's got that like pristine white shirt that at this point has no like splatter of man meat and blood all over it. Mm-hmm. And looks like she's wearing like, I don't know, khakis or something. Like it felt very much like decisions they would have done with like Annie Hall. She's got like such a distinct and
style.
Like, oh, the style on that character is really, really good.
It's supposed to look like men's clothes, like a little bit oversized.
Yeah.
Like her big thick belts that are like holding up her pants that are like cinched all around because they're so, you know what I mean? She's giving Lady Archaeologist, and that's my favorite look. From the like 30s, 40s lady archaeologist.
Yeah. I can't recall it right now, but it's like if she had like a fucking bolo tie or like some kind of like little short necktie at some point, like I wouldn't be surprised. Like, and maybe we're doing the thing with her costume design that we're not doing in the movie, which is like, this is a lesbian.
Yeah.
Fucking get it. Look at what we're saying here.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it's definitely lesbian coded. Like, there's no getting around that. It's just,
right.
They, I guess, felt like that wouldn't be a commercially viable thing to do, to like, just have it be explicit.
Yeah, I mean, we get explicit 15 years later, maybe 16 years later with Brokeback Mountain, and, you know, that couldn't win the Academy Award over a
very bad movie.
Right.
Dude, I do this thing sometimes on accident where I watch two movies kind of like back-to-back that I shouldn't watch back-to-back. It's always on accident. My first time was Sling Blade and Deliverance, you know? And I cried. I just cried the rest of the night, not knowing what they were about either. And I did that with Brokeback Mountain and Milk.
Oh,
and I was like, this is the worst day of my life.
I'm literally I'm reading Brokeback Mountain right now. Like it's a short story from an Annie Proulx. Annie Proulx
wrote that?
Yeah. Yeah, it's in Close Range. It's her Wyoming Stories short story collection.
I don't know why I had McMurtry in my head.
That movie pisses me off so bad. I just get so angry. It's like
you get angry at like what's happening in the movie?
Just society, like just fucking live your lives, you know? And the fact that like his dad showed him two gay men who were murdered, thrown in a canyon.
You're not getting angry with Ang Lee. You're getting
angry because I mean
at the world.
What is his name? Elmer or Emmett or something?
Ennis.
He's just fucking living his life, loving this man, but can't do anything about it. And then the shirt with the blood on it. Oh my God. It's like fucking live your life.
Take this opportunity to point out that it's often one of the most misquoted quotes of cinema history.
What?
Well, let's see, Gabe, if you can recall. What is the famous line that he says?
I can't quit you, right? I can't quit you, right?
So the line is, I wish I knew how to quit you.
Oh, that's right, yeah.
Which is a deeper line.
Yeah.
And has more resonance to it because it's like, what a fucking struggle, right?
Yeah.
But 9 times out of 10, the line is remembered like, I wish I could quit you, you know. Mm-hmm. That's how people remember that line. It's like Play It Again, Sam, or something like that.
Yeah.
And as someone who...
Because Play It Again, Sam is not the line either. Yeah.
It's not in the line. And as someone who like has to do movie quotes all day.
Yeah.
For my life. These are big issues. So just the fact that we're bringing that up, I do want to make sure our listeners know the real line.
That is really deep.
I did wonder what the angle was, why they're going to visit Aunt Vesta.
Oh, that stupid bitch.
Yeah, the bitch aunt. Like, why are they going to visit her in the first place? Like, is he trying to get in her inheritance or something? I don't really understand why he keeps wanting to go back.
And she has some strength. I mean, those like
chocolates she threw.
Oh my God.
I mean, they hit the wall on the other side of the bedroom. Of like it went through the bedroom across the hall. That's
was it like a basket of candy at some point, or a basket of Halloween bucket, or
I wonder why she hates Evelyn so much. She's so nice.
Yeah,
it's just part of.
It's just Aunt Vesta's a bitch.
She's a cunt for sure. That's why she's in the home and not living with her family.
For sure.
You know?
Yeah. And she grew up playing baseball, presumably with Iggy.
Maybe she's pissed.
That's why she has that cannon for an arm.
I was a little unsure of like why Ninny was there, why she could leave there. So like you really shouldn't be like discharged from a nursing home unless you have like the social worker would have been working with her and her family on where she's going.
Yeah.
Dropping her off in a abandoned town where I'll have you know, kudzu kills. According to the graffiti all over that town. Kudzu fucking kills, guys. But like,
well, for
complete
sure.
dereliction of duty from a social worker to
Yeah.
be like, all right, rip off her roses on her fucking wallpaper.
Yep.
She'll be fine. She's 83. No.
Yeah, they'd be like, no, oh, honey, like, let's go into the...
So she's there voluntarily.
To stay with Miss Otis and Miss
To
Otis
stay
Douchebag.
with the daughter of Cecily Tyson, right? Wasn't that?
I think that's the implication, yes.
That's the implication, right? Because we see her at certain parts in the movie, right? We see her in the cafe.
The daughter?
And then we meet...
The daughter died before her?
We meet this woman that tells Kathy
Yeah.
Bates, right? Who she is. She's like Miss Otis's daughter. And she tells Kathy Bates like the real story of Ninny, right?
Mm-hmm.
It's confusing. It's like not really fine-tuned.
Sure.
Like what's going on there. But I thought that Cecily Tyson's daughter is, and we never see her.
No, we do. She's in the
we never see her in the nursing
adult version.
The adult version.
Yeah.
But Iggy has outlived her.
Or Ninny.
Ninny.
Ninny. Yeah, let's be careful here.
It's so fucking weird that, like, okay, so take The Great Gatsby. Nick Carraway's in the things that are going on. Like, as he's a secondary character in the story, but as the narrator, he's there for the ride. It's so weird to have Ninny not in these scenes telling the story. If they are different characters, which is why the read that she is, why the read makes sense in a way that she would be Iggy and she's just been telling the story, you know, removing herself from the equation. But like, it's so strange to have this be that ambiguous.
But we don't know if she's, if in the book she's Iggy or Ninny.
They're separate characters in the book, for sure.
So they
100%.
are. Okay. What the fuck?
I know.
That was dumb.
It's really weird to make that be this confusing.
If we have no other scraps, like I think like that's just it's a really good gripe that I'll echo with Josh.
Yeah.
If we want to move into gripes here.
Sure.
Because like those plot points, like the end of the trial, the cancer diagnosis, these are really big things that feel whitewashed.
Yeah.
Not in a racial way, but like sped through, barreled through to get to the next thing or to get to the end of the movie.
The next flashback set piece, basically. Yeah.
I have a minor gripe that I'll throw in here too, which is like, we did not get the whole cast in a room together and decide on a standard pronunciation of Iggy. This is all over the place. Like I heard Yidgy, I heard Yuji, I heard Iggy, I heard Iggy. Like we did not put all of our hands in and say 1, 2, 3, Iggy.
Do we know what her real name is? I don't remember. Is it Ingrid or something? Or like
I would have thought like Eugenia or like some Southern Belle name that her mother wanted her to be that she couldn't
and then
be.
She refused to have that be her name.
Yeah, she couldn't be Eugenia or that's Mrs. Doubtfire's Christian name.
Oh yeah.
I think it's Eugenia, but
it's an old Scottish name.
Did you have a major gripe, Gabe?
No. I wasn't really looking super hard at the same stuff you guys were, like the camera angles and stuff, or whatever you guys were, or the not camera angles, but I wasn't even trying to say that like a dick, and it sounded like a dick either way.
No, that's fine. I mean, people watch movies different ways. Like, it's not a.
Yeah, I don't think I really. The gripe with her not being Iggy is fucking stupid.
Sure.
That doesn't make any sense to me, because why write a book and everybody's like, she's Iggy, right? It's exciting. And then be like, psych, she's not, for no reason. You know what I mean?
I think you have a gripe.
Well, and I would presume in the book, Ninny is probably
You're right, I have a gripe.
foregrounded a little more in the flashbacks.
Sure.
She has to be, right? But maybe not. I don't know.
Like, is she the third? Was she the third?
Who knows?
Because, like, how do you know all that stuff? How do you know about that super hot that definitely led to fucking food fight scene? Like,
sure.
Yeah. Like,
there's no reason for her to not be Iggy. It makes zero sense.
Yeah. Gabe's got a gripe.
So if we were, obviously my gripe is...
I'm going to have to calm down.
And it's more or less that. So if we were going to make this movie today, how would we do that for like a modern film audience? Starting with Gabe, I guess.
Leave out the dumbass shit where she's not Iggy.
Okay.
Can you start at the beginning of the question? Because I was still thinking about how mad I was.
No, that's fine. Like, how would we fix this for a modern audience? If we were making this today? No, the whole movie.
Oh, I don't know. I like it. I just think it's fine.
Okay.
You would clear up that part.
I would make her Iggy for sure.
Okay.
Yeah. I don't think anything else.
You know what you could have done, Gabe? You could have given Ninny the full name of Iggy, like Eugenia or whatever it is, right? Like, call her Eugenia.
Yeah, Ninja.
Nvidia? Like, and then Kathy Bates, like, going, like...
Cut the crap,
I don't know, something at the end, yeah, where she's like, I can't wait to meet your husband, or something like that, and she's like, oh, it'll be fine, he's gonna love you. And she's like, if it's easier for him, he can just call me Iggy.
Sure.
Some stupid bullshit that we're like, okay.
Yeah, everybody's like, oh, and then the camera like pans away with a feather floating over whatever Forrest Gump.
Yeah.
But or
and then we drop into Forrest Gump. Yeah.
Yeah. He's just fucking running. It's like, I don't know. Or it could be like, I mean, obviously, I wish there was more gayness to it. The whole movie, if it was like just straight up fucking
I
gay.
think that's no. I think
that's my big fix.
Yeah.
Is this needs to be like not just queer coded.
Like they are in love.
Yeah.
And I think that maybe the name thing could be like, because she's had to hide her gay shit for so long, being in the South. And she's like, I know you're not Nanny. You don't have to hide from me. Edgy, fucking pan feather.
Movies today, there's even movies that are period pieces that take place outside of present day are way more explicit and way more brazen with
we need more
love story.
Heaving breasts, like it's just.
But like Desert Hearts does it like so beautifully in 1984. It's just, obviously that like limited its box office, but Desert Hearts is this story, is the like period piece lesbian love story. So it had already been done and been done well. So it's just kind of strange to me to not have it.
I haven't seen that.
Oh, it's great.
Because in the book, if you have them out and you have them actualize it, you have such a better love story.
Yes.
Between raising this kid, killing somebody who is going to ruin lives, probably kill you, make the kid a clan member, whatever it is, like defensive killing. And then you have the story of two women running the Whistle Stop Cafe. Yep. And it fucking sucks that one of them dies of cancer. But like, you have time together to actualize your feelings. Mm-hmm. Hey, you have a pretty powerful movie that you dilute with Avnet's screenplay cobbled together from two prior writers, a guy who's not a writer, who's trying his best, and, gets this thing across the goal line. But I think he gets this thing across the goal line because in 1991, like any type of like female empowerment, I'm going to ram that fucking Volkswagen Beetle. Fuck you. Like, that was huge. That was like Oprah power, right? In that moment. Yeah. Just like, not a lot of people were doing that. So I see what the buzz was. It makes sense why this thing made what it made. This thing was a box office smash.
Yeah.
It was,
Thelma and Louise came out in 91 as well. You're right. That's like it was like...
And they don't fuck.
That was like a year for female empowerment movies. Yeah, you're right. And they don't fuck, yeah.
But you also have like Steel Magnolias, 2 years before? Like this is, or even Silence of the Lambs. The lead, the hero, is Clarice. You have a lot of very mainstreamed female empowerment going on here, where you have female characters that are the inarguable leads of a story that in 10 years earlier is not being told with women in the lead.
Yeah, and maybe they lean into that a little bit harder if they do it again with the Kathy Bates character, rather than just getting like a good haircut.
Yeah.
And like talk about Mary Kay or whatever,
Yeah.
Sure.
Like she finds some agency with a career path. Like I'm opening up a new Whistle Stop Cafe or whatever it is. I mean, not in that like Silent Hill town that she has to go back to, but
Sure.
like she's got something at the strip mall next to the Winn-Dixie, and like this is going to be, and we got Tandy as a Walmart greeter or something at the front, who can sit there and hand out candy and get people to their tables, even if she has purple hair.
Mm-hmm.
And fucking Converse high tops. Just love that choice.
Yeah.
Now, in a very like Field of Dreams kind of way, the Whistle Stop Cafe is a thing now in that space.
No way, really?
Yeah. Yep.
So we could
at least it was after. I assume it's still open. I didn't check, but I know that the locals opened up a Whistle Stop Cafe there.
It's like a Bubba Gump restaurant.
Oh my God.
I think a less a chain, but yes.
But I mean, something that came from a movie. Right?
Yes,
Or came
yes.
from-
And Field of Dreams also is
Right.
the same.
I
thing.
went there when I was a kid. My parents took me there.
Mhm.
The Converse thing. Why would she be wearing high top Converse if she wasn't Iggy? See?
Yeah.
Come on, you guys. Somebody fucked up, and it was the writer.
Yes. Oh, we're all in agreement
This
on
is
this.
like really bothering me because I had no idea. Like, this was the first time I've heard of this, and like, whenever I think of it as that old lady's Iggy, and now it's just like fucked my whole
Sure.
entire life up.
And I think he designed this to be ambiguous, but like it just doesn't, like the ambiguity doesn't hold up to like the story that's been told.
Gabe, you have this guy who is like been kind of given the reins of this project, with all these conditions. Like, well, if you want to take 3 years to fucking finish it, if this thing is optioned in 87
On spec. He's not getting
Yeah.
paid to keep writing this for 2 to 3 years.
who is not a writer, right? And so who's got a screenplay, has like a bunch of production notes and red marks all the way through it, and producers saying, got to get rid of this, lose that, lose the sex scene that comes immediately after the food fight.
Yeah. That was going to have this be NC-17.
They lock the doors, and yeah.
Yeah, and then you have the author come in and be like, this thing is really precious to me. This is
She did like okay the adaptation. Fanny flagged it.
right.
Yeah, but she wrote them as
No,
two
she
separate-
okayed the final script.
No, I mean, but
Okay.
she also, in the book, they're two separate characters as well. So it's the author's fault either way.
Right.
So she's dipping her quill back into a screenplay, right? It's not just that she's okayed it; she's credited as a writer on the.
And he is
screenplay.
not, but that's WGA nonsense. So
Yeah, which is also funny because like this gets nominated for an Academy Award for writing.
yeah, and neither one of them saw this movie
Saw
to the
the
fucking
final
finish line.
Yeah.
Yeah.
God, what a fucking sting it would have been if this won, and you're sitting there as John Abnett going,
Yep. I
Cool.
did this. Cool.
What movie did Brokeback Mountain lose to?
Crash,
The awful
Crash.
Race. Oh, don't do
not the good Crash. David Cronenberg
Gabe.
did a Crash in '97. That's getting off on
Gabe.
car crashes. That's awesome.
it. Don't spend too much time on this, Gabe. It's gonna hurt.
Do
Oh,
not
I
watch
fucking
it.
saw this. I saw
Yeah,
this.
terrible.
It's the movie.
fucking
It's the movie that ended racism.
Oh, yeah. Oh, for sure. I remember this movie, and I was like, I watched it and was like, no.
Yeah, I remember Nicholson presenting that award at the Academies, and like you could see his classic eyebrows. Crash.
Yeah.
Okay.
Ugh.
That one,
That one Best Picture.
That one. The
Beat
Oscar.
Brokeback.
wow. They just hate gay
Yeah.
people, I swear, because fuck.
After Ang Lee had won Best Director like 10 minutes earlier.
Yeah. Foregone conclusion that like, oh, you win Best Director, that movie
9
wins
times
Best
out of
Picture.
10.
Yeah.
Yeah. This is why you can say 9 times out of 10 and not 10 times out of 10.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's really dumb.
Yeah, wow.
Also, I think there was like 3 like actor nominations in that. I mean, Heath Ledger should have won, but like whatever.
What a loss. He was great. Okay. Go ahead.
Yeah, it was great.
He really was.
Hot take, guys.
Yeah.
You're hearing it here first. That's why people come to this fucking podcast. Hear hot takes like that.
So, Saving Graces, what was your favorite moment or aspect of the film, Gabe?
The gay stuff.
Cool. Right on.
The gay feelings. No, I mean, yes, of course, but that fucking bee thing was so cool. I just loved how she knew how to hop trains. She shoved her freaking fist right into
She fisted that beehive.
that beehive. Pulled out some sweet, sweet honey.
Yeah, That's not coded at all.
Is that how you do it?
So, you see how uncomfortable and turned on the other chick was? She was like, whoa.
Yeah, danger.
She was like, oh my
Ruth
God.
wanted a piece of that bee
He's like,
charmer.
You're just a bee charmer.
Wanted a taste of honey.
Yep.
For me, I think if you look at all four of these actresses, they're tiered a little bit for me, but they're all really good in this.
Yeah.
They have a director that I think, you're welcome to come on the show, John Abnett, but like, I think he's outmatched here. I think he makes some really poor decisions. I don't think he knows what to do with the camera in a non-TV setup. He misses a lot of really crucial, important, heavy, emotional moments by having the camera in the wrong place, by cutting when he shouldn't, by keeping on a shot when he shouldn't, when he should.
I mean,
cut.
the Ruth death is like criminal malfeasance.
Yeah. There's a lot of these moments that just, when you watch a fucking million movies, that you just start to go like, oh, okay, like this is great, or this isn't.
Mm-hmm.
And direction is like umpiring in baseball, where if you notice it, it's a bad thing.
Yeah.
And I noticed the direction here in a bad way, and I'm like, these women still overcame that.
Yeah.
Like, Mary Stuart Masterson is really good.
You wonder why she didn't have a much bigger career when you watch this.
Yeah.
Absolutely. You're like, holy shit, she's a fucking force. And she's got a great little character here.
Yeah.
With this, like, punch you in the fucking face if you stick your tongue out at me kind of character. Or, if you hit my friend, I will serve you to racist sheriffs.
Yeah.
Literally, yeah.
Literally, not
Yeah.
a metaphor.
No.
You'll get chopped up.
But, like, Tandy's really good. She's coming off of, like, the stodgy, racist, stick-up-her-ass Miss Daisy. You know, it's really funny because, like, Tandy is coming off of, like, mega icy southern bitch of the universe to play this warm, tomboyish, fun-loving character. And Bates is coming off of a fucking sadistic psychopath to play a warm, lived-in, empathetic. She's just trying her goddamn best in a fucking world that doesn't want women to be their goddamn best.
Mm-hmm.
And they're all doing a good job. I mean, Mary-Louise Parker, good actress, you know, like, hamstrung only by the fact that she's in a conversation with three other actresses in this movie. Everybody you could argue is somewhat of a lead. And they're all really good. They're all really good. I mean, and the character actors in this movie are also good. Like the Reverend, right, who swears on a copy of Moby Dick. And in my mind, I was like, that does not look like a copy of Moby Dick. But that book would be like, he'd be swearing on the Bible this thick.
Yeah.
Very, very thick. I'm doing it with my hands right now. But, you know, he's a very good, capable character actor. The guy who plays the shithead husband, like, he's been around a long time.
Nick Searcy?
Yeah.
Yeah, from Justified.
And you have Cecily Tyson in this fucking movie, too.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Knock, knock. Cecily Tyson's here. Do you want her to do something? Not really. Just put her in the back. Have her clean
So
a lot.
interesting. It's so, like, the stuff that you guys are pointing out that, or the stuff that you've noticed just makes it even more, like, for me, like, it's such a good movie. Like it's almost like it shouldn't have been as good as it is.
It shouldn't. The fact that you have Parker, Masterson, Bates, Tandy, like, that is the foundation of this movie, and that's the reason it worked, and that's the reason, like, it's watchable now, is because, especially Masterson, they're all very fucking strong.
Do you think that people now that were born in, like, the year whatever, people that don't remember 9/11, do you think that they could watch this movie and be like, hold on a second, Tasha's fucking calling me?
She's gonna probably come over if you don't answer.
Oh, she knows I hate when she does it.
We'll get a reverse.
She's gonna kick in the door behind you.
Anyways, what was I saying? Who cares even? Tasha.
Well, no.
What?
I'll cement your point that I don't think that this would work on people born after 9/11 because it doesn't go far enough, right?
Yeah.
Because they wouldn't know the women and know how powerful. Yeah.
Yeah, they'd be like, why does this matter? Like, why
Yeah.
can't she just like get a job and like leave him? Or why can't she just have no problem looking at her fucking pussy and putting it on TikTok or whatever? Like, like that should be on my IG.
Well,
stories.
they'd get their TikTok account taken down immediately.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Not, but they could put it up on X.
Sure.
What's that? Oh, Twitter. I forgot that fucking what's his name.
I don't know why you would why did you just call it that, Sean? Don't let him win.
Only because it was explicit image, and I thought saying X would like hammer home that point.
Okay, so my favorite moment or element of the film, I think, has got to be Mary Stuart Masterson. Despite that, I think the accent work is sketchy, but like three of them are doing kind of questionable accent work, and it doesn't undercut the performances at all. I mean, it's a little. Having lived in Texas, I guess, but having lived in the arguable South for over a decade, it does stick out to me when the accent works off, and it was definitely off for everybody but Tandy, I think. But it wasn't enough to like take away from the movie for me. And Masterson, like, this is like, why wasn't she so much bigger after watching this? It just doesn't make sense that she didn't have a more notable career to me.
In terms of popularity, Mary Stuart Masterson, like, this is the movie. I mean, Some Kind of Wonderful, I guess, is talked about a little bit, but like Benny and June maybe came after this and was like a good platform for her.
I never saw it.
That's surprising. Really surprising. It's going to come up on this show.
Also, I disagree with you guys about that death scene. I was going to avoid it, but I disagree with you guys about Ruth's death scene. I'm just telling you. That's it.
No, go for it.
I think it like broke me.
I got the sense that you were holding that back for a second.
You did?
Yeah.
I didn't want a close-up of her face. The fact that she was telling this fucking story and Ruth didn't say anything and she knew she was dead, I was like heartbroken.
I don't think you need to have a close-up on her face if you can just have Mary-Louise Parker keep her eyes open. And so when she turns back, she goes, oh, like she's not sleeping. She hasn't dozed off.
She knows because they're connected with their fucking souls. That's why.
By their food fight.
I felt it. I was like, she knows. She's gone. This is her last story.
Well, she knows because of the performance. She knows because her character in the script is told that, like, she turns around and Iggy knows that she's dead. But, like, give me something, John. Give me something, John Abnett. I just need a little bit more.
You know, I just think maybe you don't know what it's like to have a soul connection with another I don't know. So,
touche.
She's like, it just it kind of reminded me of Mice and Men, where she's like, just telling, and then the ducks, and then their feet, and the ice, and turn around to dead. I don't know.
She has to shoot Ruth in the back of the head.
Yeah.
So, Gabe, you returned to Fried Green Tomatoes, hopeful that it would hold up. Are you glad you finally rewatched it?
Yeah, definitely.
Do you expect that you'll rewatch it at any point in the near future?
Probably not in the near future, but I'm sure I'll watch it again. You get an itch.
Gabe, do you have an itch to read this?
I do. I definitely want to fucking read it. I just read Color Purple for the first time because, like, the movie's one of my favorites, and I know they're making another one. I guess somehow they turned it into
made it, didn't they?
They did, yeah.
They made it, yeah.
Somehow they made it into a musical, I guess, first. That was on Broadway, which I don't care to see. But, like, I'd never read the book, so I didn't realize how much of course, it's different stuff. But I definitely want to read this. I mean, under the covers? What? Reading fucking gay shit? Hell yeah, dude.
Yeah. You might even go to the Whistle Stop Cafe.
Like, give me some fried green tomatoes. Just throw some blackberries at some random waitress and see what happens. You know,
it'd be so funny if you go there and they're like,
you know how often that happens.
Yeah,
it'd be so funny to go to there and be like, yeah, we're out of that. You're out of fried green tomatoes? Yeah, sorry. Do you want some chocolate frosting?
we have some frosted flakes.
Blackberries.
We have some blackberries.
So before we say goodbye to the listeners at home, where can they find you, Gabe?
On the interwebs, on Instagram, I'm at Gabe Joyner for tattoo stuff. The podcast is at SVU Pod. That's it, I think.
That's good.
My social security number.
Oh. I don't need that.
Well, Gabe, thank you for subjecting your childhood and the precious memories that you hold to the scrutiny of the Unkind Rewind.
Mm-hmm.
Thanks, Gabe.
Yeah, thanks for having me. Sorry if I was too chatty. It's been like 2 hours. I just realized I
No, it's
contributed
fine.
to that.
Sometimes they go 2 hours. It's fine.
Okay.
Thank you again, Gabe, for joining us. We're so glad to have you on.
Yeah, thanks for having me. It was fun, guys.
We'll think of you when we hear a train whistle.
That was another installment of the Unkind Rewind, mining our childhood for content, one film from a guest's past at a time. Unkind Rewind is a Munchcasts production and can be listened to wherever you download your podcasts and watched on the Unkind Rewind YouTube channel. Music for this and every other episode of Unkind Rewind was composed by Divorcio Suave. Rate, review, like, and subscribe to Unkind Rewind on Apple Podcasts, YouTube, Spotify, and Good Pods. Links to all of our social media accounts are in our show notes, but you'll find us as at Unkind Rewind Pod on Letterboxd and nearly every social media platform, all of which can be found at our website, unkindrewind.com. If you have a question, concern, complaint, or feedback, you can email the podcast at unkindrewindpod@gmail.com or call into our call-in line, area code 507-479-6440, and leave a message that can be played on air. Fans should join the Munchcast Discord to discuss this or any other episode of the Unkind Rewind with like-minded people. This dialogue may just make it into a future episode of the pod. The Unkind Rewind Patreon will be coming soon, so start squirreling that pocket change away. Thank you for listening to the Unkind Rewind.